So for the design principles of prefabricated structures, what are the requirements we need and for what are the parameters you are going to design. So here the design considerations will not be considered and will not be maintained for every specimen. So what are the panels required, where the design has to be considered in prefabricated, those only will be dealing here. As of now, this study is being carried forward, and again the research is going on for the design considerations of these structures. As of the basic considerations, what are the requirements we will be considering, and then we'll be studying based on that. And now comes with the design principles of that. So as of the previous sessions we have dealt with the roofs, floors and all. So the main principles we have learned, materials we have learned, and the methods what we are choosing and all, everything was studied up to CO1 and CO2 was discussed. Then now comes to the design principles. Here only the design principles will be considered and the design of that will not be gone through. Okay, so you have to remember in that such a manner that for what is the design consideration is being carried forward. Okay, so in prefabricated structures, the first thing was placing of the transportation, placing of the structures, placing of the components for the existence of the structure is required. So then comes to the construction of roof and floor straps. So roof members, firstly we'll deal with about the roof members. So roofing members can be divided into two groups, that is small and long. Already we have discussed in our activity of CO2. So roofing member was there, long and short roofing members, already it was discussed. So the same continuation here we are going for the design parameters. So the short span members rest on purlins while long span are directly supported in the main girders. So resting, one is on resting condition and one is directly given. And next comes to the short span roofing members are reinforced planks, mode of pours, hollow tiles, lightweight concrete roofing materials, small reinforced roofing materials, and whatever the small considerations we are taking for the materials required for roofing, that comes under this category, so which is light in weight. Among the long span of roofing members, the reinforced members are discussed here. So then comes to the reinforced planks, modes of porous hollow tiles. So hollow tiles, solid tiles are there. So what is meant by hollow tiles and all is our study next carried forward. As we had already discussed that single and two tier members, so two support members, likewise we have discussed in our CO2 part. So the same continuation, the reinforcing is being done for these members. These roofing consists of porous tiles having longitudinal circular holes. The thickness placed in these are with some suitable graces. So what are the subsequent fine material you are going to choose for this? So cement mortar is the thing we will be choosing. In this way, the reinforced porous tiles having a length of 2.3 meters and thickness of 6 to 10 centimeters and the width of 20 centimeters can be produced of these tiles, which will be existing in two kinds. So standard dimensions are required for this. So roofing members, when you are going for longitudinal circular holes considerations, and these are the thickness placed based on this, and the length thickness is being allotted for this. And again two kinds are there. The first kind is heat insulating and has a unit weight of 750 kg per meter cube, and the second is a load bearing, its unit weight of 1100 kg per meter cube. This is used for production of reinforced planks. So what do you mean by plank? You all aware of all the planks. So general, in basic way we will discuss about the plank. What is a plank? First of all, we will be using a plank for our construction activity, as it is a assembling of the product. So what plank you are using, that is our study first of all. So plank may be directly the total element or the composite of the element. So composite you are talking means when you are going to steel or what you may be asking, it may be of some percentage. So firstly, the reinforced planks it will be in such a manner that here reinforcing we are doing. So steel definitely we are using, and then the plank model means you study general common plank what we will be studying for purpose. Okay, so the which is a pad or plank which is of large dimension, we call it as plank, we used for studying purpose and all. So in the same way this is also a plank, we call it as, but this is composite material with steel and concrete, and that is used for roofing purpose. So likewise in this way we will be arranging it, so that is used for roofing purpose. So it will be designed with this unit weight. Then the disadvantage of using the porous hollow tiles in question of roof covering is that the material of the the material of the latter is highly moisture absorbing and therefore not frost resistant. So here it is not frost resistant, frost resistant. So the roof cover should be protected free moisture, and hence it should be rough enough to for the cement mortar. Basically it has to be resistant, for the fire resistant and environmental exposure conditions. So it has to be designed in such a manner that it is assembling of the products. It can be usable in any of the way of construction activity, as modular construction is also carried forward. It has to be sustained there. So for these all considerations, we need to keep in mind that this is suitable for these frost conditions, means mainly environmental conditions or not also we have to study. Then comes to the limiting value. So Mi, this is the formula for number of what is the condition where Mi, the value of limiting moment where you are going to calculate. This is the minimum formula you need to consider when hollow tiles at under reinforced condition. This is the basic thing. We will go for the hollow tiles when undergone for reinforced condition. The formula is very, very important, and then the values will be given. So at that time you will do these problems. Then lightweight concrete roofing members. Lightweight concrete roofing members are in such a manner that additional space, boarding, load bearing, so lightweight we are telling, but that members also should be able to sustain with the minimum basic loading conditions. So it has to be in such a manner that loading should be done in effective manner. So lightweight concrete roofing members can only be applied if there is a possibility of the reinforcement. If it is not the application is not suitable when but a reinforcement is not possible. Possibly this reinforcement can be applied on that member, then only this can be again placed at a particular site, means particular location of the site, then only this is applicable. If it is not suitable, then you should not directly go for the reinforcement condition. It requires a bond between steel and the lightweight concrete for ensuring the transmission of the tensile force. As we all aware that concrete is strong in compression and weak in tension, we will be imparting the tension to make it stronger. So that is what the tension force in be imparted by using the steel bars to the concrete, and steel bars sliding, hence it is necessary to protect the reinforcement against corrosion. We have to consider these minimum basic parameters required for the steel will be undergone for the corrosion. So whether that is undergone for the corrosion, whether with what way this can sustain, and all you have to gone through. Okay, then comes to the from the viewpoint the weight, then comes to the what is the weight you will be taking into consideration. Roofing member, the thicknesses, the length, what are the minimum dimensions and all. So this is the basic thing. Then prefabricated roofing members can be produced in concrete mode in an usual way by using of lightweight materials, as this is majorly concentrated on lightweight construction activities. So if it is heavy weight, even the machine also cannot be portable that. In the case of prefabricated structures, the steel wires must be embedded into the concrete and availability of at least C300. So what is the meant by C means concrete, at least of C300 we have to go on undergone. In case of prefabricated, the steel wires concrete availability should be of minimum consideration is 300. Then comes to the small reinforced and concrete roofing materials. The small reinforced concrete roofing material member is essentially a precast simply supported ribbed reinforced concrete slab. The width of the member is 50 to 120 centimeters. So the consideration what you are going for, large was considered, and then comes to the small. So small, what is the width of 50 to 120 centimeters only. The large reinforcement roofing members resisting directly on the main girders, this is what we have already discussed. Then our structures represent a more advanced kind of precast roofing structure. These members are manufactured in a length corresponding to the spacing of the frames 6 to 10 meters. Their width is of 1.30 to 1.80 meters. They are directly supported by the main girders so that purlins are not required. A large roofing member consists of two longitudinal edge ribs, cross ribs, and a slab having thickness of 2.5 to 3 centimeters and the two-way reinforcement. The members connected to each other and to the frame girders from a unified continuous roofing structure. So whatever you are going for that, first we don't know what is the frame of that. We will be designing in such a manner either rectangle, and then for the roofing purpose what is the material required, what are the dimensions and all. According to standard dimensions, these were suitable or not we will be studying. Yes, those all will be undergone with reference to the girder, or you are using on the main using as a main supported beam, or using as a roofing purpose, and all that is the study of long and short. Next, flooring members. In industrial buildings, the prefabricated is consist of joints and flooring members. So directly assembling of products, we are telling products whatever what, and this is the precast joint way you will be assembling each and everything. So next comes to the flooring member is a study in such a manner that after its span is 9 meters and the bearing is of live load of 1000 kg per meter square. After the members are placed in final position of longitudinal bearing reinforcement, the stirrups are placed in a tough form between the longitudinal ribs of the adjacent member. A continuous reinforcement is placed on the top of the members, and also the 5 centimeters thick layer is being taken into consideration, and then the continuous is being filled with the concrete. Then it is transformed to the 6 meters. Live load is considered. So here see, when you are going for the flooring condition, the live load consideration is there, the span is there, and then the weight is there. So unit weight is they considered for the long and short span structures or members. Used for roofing purpose and all, and flooring considers here the live load considerations has to be considered. So flooring member spanning is of 6 meters, the loading condition is 80 to 500 kg, and then the self weight is of 1450. Then the transverse rib bed spacing of 1.50 meter square, pre-stress reinforcement 12 to 20 mm diameter is the standard thing you have to take into consideration. And then comes to the shear walls. Shear walls were used, transmit them the column to the framework of the foundations. Their main load bearing direction is therefore horizontal as contrast, and then consider and then vertically loading bearing panels will be considered. Infilling wall panels or slabs also are considered, whether they were placing horizontally or vertically. That is our study. What panels are used for horizontal, what panels are used for vertical, that is the thing we will be doing here. Then raise from the basic conception that the overall stability of the supporting from the work of the building can be ensured without additional bracing by means of components and that are necessary, and the way the large roof panels serve as bracing for the roof. So see here, the shear walls are used. Where which panels are used? Large roof panels will serve for the bracing. Okay, roofing purpose you are using for bracing. Okay, then the wall panels similarly provide the rigidity of the external walls. Industrial buildings not exceeding about 6 meters in height will not require such bracing at all, since the horizontal forces in the longitudinal direction, the more so there, the forces will be distributed over the columns and panels, so that wind bracing is there, and then providing wind bracing will be there. So we have to provide the flexibility of rigid connections between the columns and these panels without gritting. So the cold roll sections, again hot roll sections of steel, everything will be considered here. So the thing is, the direction of the load transmission is different. The bracing panels or slabs is of ribbed slabs, hollow slabs, solid lightweight concrete slabs. So these are the minimum considerations what we are going to use for the shear walls in the industrial building. So this will be used the same, the spacing depending on the roof beam spacing, the beams may be up to 12 meters in length and may be as much as 4 meters wide, transported in the upgrade position. So this is the main thing we will be considering, the dimensions whatever we will be discussing in our consideration of roof or slab. Okay, so thank you, and we will deal with the next session of our topic.